And it worked. It worked. And it worked. Peace and love, everybody. Thanks for being here this morning. Thanks for coming over to this window because the last one wouldn't open. Who knows? Who knows why? So today is Meditation Matters. I was thinking about what I should talk about, and meditation matters. Mystic's way of love, presence, and inner fire. Meditation matters. So welcome and peace, my dear friends. And before we begin, let's take a moment just to arrive, just to settle in to our bodies. Slow your breath and find your rhythm. Let your hearts open like a flower, turning to the light. You feel that? That quiet stillness beneath the noise of the world? That's where we begin. That's where we return again and again. That's meditation. For some folks, meditation's just a technique, and that's great because it has so many physical, biological benefits. But for mystics, for contemplatives, it becomes a way of being, a return to source, capital S, source within. For me, and maybe for you, meditation escape. It's about remembrance. It's about the presence, the energy presence, the reality of heaven within. It's about learning to live from that still point, even in the chaos of life, especially in the chaos of life. My own journey, as you know, includes 2 near-death experiences. They showed me what waits on the other side of this life, and that is what I want here. And ever since, meditation has been the bridge, is the bridge between the eternal light and this passing world. You don't have to climb a ladder to heaven. You're already the divine. So many mystics, all of the real mystics, say the truth that the beloved is closer to us than our own breath. Meditation isn't about reaching for God. It's about noticing the beloved within. As Meister Eckhart once said, and I quote once more, "The eye with which I see God is the eye with which God sees me." In meditation, we remember this mutual gaze. And meditation is practicing death before we die. This is where we began 5 years ago. If I die before I die, then when I die, I will not die. It sounds dramatic, but it's profoundly true. The mystics call this dying before you die. When we sit in silence, we let go. Not so much this, a lot of that. Of course, we let go of our control, of our ego, of the constant chatter in our head. In that surrender, we taste freedom. We rehearse the letting go that will come for all of us. And in that rehearsal, we live more fully. Meditation, every one of us carries wounds, traumas that we don't even remember what the source is, but that enact action in our lives. Meditation doesn't bypass the pain of those things. It welcomes it. It says, come, sit, you belong. When we bring loving attention to our inner life, the parts of us that have been silenced begin to speak and they begin to heal. In the fire of gentle awareness, we're slowly made whole. And meditation, it stabilizes our vision. Many of us have had glimpses, moments of clarity, of beauty, of oneness, of visitations, out of body experiences, the presence of the light. But how do we live from that space? Meditation grounds the mystical in the everyday. It helps us hold the light not only as an idea, but as a presence in our bodies, in our nervous systems, in our daily lives. Like iron in fire, we are tempered, softened, and transformed. Meditation is communion with this living silence. The real teacher is already inside of you. The real teacher is accessed through this silence, is this silence. Mystics all over the world knew this. The yogis knew this. The desert mothers and fathers knew this. We know this. In the stillness, the Logos speaks, not with words, but with knowing. The more we listen, the more we hear, the more we hear, the more we remember who we already are. Meditation makes this path of love flesh. It doesn't remove us from the world. It makes us more present in the world. Brother Lawrence washed dishes in the monastery kitchen with full awareness of the divine presence. We can too. We can meet God in the breath, in stirring soup, in tending the garden, and holding a friend's hand. Meditation trains us to see the holy, see the light within, see the light without. It trains us to see the holy in the ordinary. And meditation is sacred resistance. To sit still in the world that's addicted to speed and information, that's rebellion. To close our eyes in a world that wants us constantly stimulated, that's resistance. Meditation says, I will not forget who I am and have always been. I am not what the world says I am. I am soul, clothed in time, rooted in the eternal, my original self. Meditation opens our souls to revelation. Yeah. Revelation doesn't require thunder from the skies or a lightning strike. It often happens in a whisper, in a breath, and the deep well of stillness. Julian of Norwich, John of the Cross, Hildegard of Bingen, the Upanishads, the Psalms, the Yoga Sutras, they all agree. The still heart hears the voice of the divine. The still heart hears the voice of the divine. The mind still wants to understand. The soul, it wants to know. And in meditation, it awakens non-dual awareness. There is no other in divinity. Not two, not separate. In deep meditation, the veil just lifts, begins to lift and lift again. The self dissolves into the self with a capital S. The lowercase s dissolves into this is an S, American Sign Language S. Maybe I've never said that. The lowercase s dissolves into the uppercase S. You see that you're not just in God. And here's the controversy. You are a packet of God, a particle of God. That's who you are. This is the single one from the Gospel of Thomas and the Gospel of Mary, the Gospel of John. This is the Brahman, the Atman, and the Christ consciousness within. Meditation, it ripens our hearts for compassion and kindness in the world. And finally, my friends, my soul friends, my dear friends, meditation isn't just for the cushion or the chair. It's for life. It turns us into walking prayers. And I know this works in people's lives because in our long practice together, you all have told me so. I've seen your changing. I've seen your transformation. I've seen your moving from reactivity to heartfelt response. It does what it says it does. Meditation actually works. And it's been passed down for centuries, thousands of years, because it works, because it opens the heart. With every breath of presence, we grow in patience, tenderness, courage, strength, fortitude, and clarity. We don't meditate to escape the world. I don't meditate to escape the world. I don't think you do either. We meditate to love the world better. The people in our world, the animals in our world, the nature in which we live, the society, the culture. We meditate to love the world better because it returns us to the garden, capital G, the garden, the mythical garden of, but it's not just mythology. It tells a truth without being true. That's a T, without being true. It returns us to the garden because it dissolves the illusion of separation, because it helps us live what we know, because the world is on fire and needs souls who carry stillness in our daily lives, whether you work or are retired or are a student, wherever we are, the world needs souls who carry stillness. And then you become a cultural influencer, not because you egoically want some kind of recognition, but because you recognize the soul inside yourself and inside others. And then you carry this stillness because God waits for us and not far away, but in the very next breath. So let's sit still together. Let's sit still. I'm going to turn on my timer. We started at 10 after, so that makes us at 9:40. Sticking to the half hour. Making sure my alarm's not high. Let's let the silence speak. Peace and love, everybody. Taking a slow breath, exhaling, relaxing. Expanding your belly, pausing, exhaling right up your spine, superhighway of the soul out your nose. Add your mantra. See you soon. Peace and love, everyone. Peace and love to all of you. See you Wednesday. Glad you were here, Mira Shanti. Peace and love. Thanks, everybody.